When I first looked at the Kislev roster and saw these snow leopards, I knew that I had to make an army revolving around them and figure out how they worked. And their role is that of an anti-large armor piercing, very fast. So they're good at chasing down routing cavalry, finishing them off, for example, and just taking out large targets in general. They're like one-shotting those cav, killing like 2 with one shot even. But they have low mass and low armor, so they even get stuck in lowly peasants there. They get hurt a lot, and look, I think there's like 2 peasants blocking that leopard. He can't get out. So it's pretty balanced as far as the damage, I think. So I was also intrigued by the Swiftwing spell from the Lore of Tempest. It's an AoE buff to charge bonus and speed that can be overcast for 11 mana. And I wanted to use the leopards in conjunction with that. So you can fit 3 leopards with unit caps in an army, and then you can summon one with Guardian's Call. So I want to get 4 leopards coming out on one target that are buffed by Swiftwing. But I think I took 1 leopard out to replace with a warbear just to balance the army a little bit. I think 3 leopards is more than enough actually, so plenty enough to get the job done. So I did actually pull off what I wanted to do one time in a battle against Greasus with 3 leopards swarming in with a Swiftwing on them. It was really great, but you're not always going to pull this off because it requires a lot of micro, a good target, and just the right scenario. So let me zoom out to show you some of the damage there. It's a really nice alpha strike, coup de grace, you know? That's some good damage. But like I said, you're not always going to pull something like this off. So let me show you a couple other ways you can use Swiftwing more consistently. And I think the best way to do that is in conjunction with the many ways of slowing that Kislev has. One of them being Frostbite, which many of your units have. The Ice Witches have it. The Frost Maidens, your Lords and Heroes there. Your Ice Guard units have it. And your monsters, the Elemental Bear, and of course the Snow Leopard. All with their basic attacks are going to be slowing the enemy. Then in the Lore of Tempest, the passive ability is Freezing Winds, which slows every enemy unit whenever you cast a spell. The Witches and Maidens have Glacial Blast, slowing everyone around them with a burst of damage. And then the Witches can wear Ice Drake armor, Iron Ice armor, sorry, which slows everyone around them constantly. Now in the Lore of Ice, you have the Heart of Winter, which does damage and slows, of course. But maybe the most effective, straightforward, simple way to use slows for Kislev is Ice Sheet. 4 Winds of Magic, can't be overcast, don't need it though, it's very effective, very valuable. So one way to use Swiftwing in conjunction with Ice Sheet is zoning, and that includes catching out an enemy lord that might have overextended. Now Snow Leopards move so fast on their own, and then you buff them with Swiftwing, and they'll get to an enemy in a blink of an eye and it can catch them off guard. This lord on her Ice Bear here too. No match for the speed of a leopard, especially with Swiftwing active. Follow that up with an Ice Sheet to slow her down, chase her out, and you'll chase that lord all the way back to base. A more traditional way of zoning is getting in between your enemy, their outlying units, and their main force. Now, these enemy cav maybe could have got around to their main force, but not with that Swiftwing active for me. I controlled the speed in the center there, the mobility, and they were kind of forced into an engagement, for better or worse. Now here's a good example of using the spell sequentially. There's an Ice Sheet going down on those sleds there to zone them out. There's a Swiftwing on my Leopards and Bears to keep the pursuit hot. And another Ice Sheet that was already on cooldown to zone them out further. Now look how far away those sleds are from my force, which they could have been harassing. You cannot put a number on the value you get from separating such a harassing, annoying unit from your main force. Now, another way to use Swiftwing is on the frontline engagement, which is very important, and you can tend to overlook it when you're busy microing other things, but it's crucial to get those charge bonuses off. And an Overcast Swiftwing will help with that. It should encompass a lot of your front line, like 3 to 4 units maybe, and it will help, especially in an engagement like this against heavy metal Khorne melee. Even though I blopped a bit, it'll still help a lot. Now here's another example of Tzeentch's Forsaken that should shred through these Kossars. Now the Kossars with Swiftwing will charge better, and they'll still get shredded, not gonna lie, but they'll trade better, they'll last longer, And the spell will also hit those Zargard there. The Kossars coming in, they'll all get better charge bonuses, which isn't going to do a lot against Chaos Bond, but again, just for having cast a spell, the whole engagement's going to go better. And even in losing engagements, where you are approaching under Withering Fire, and you're just having a bad time, still use it to get to the front engagement quicker. You know, by doing so, you will engage the enemy. Their bodies will block their own line of sight, hopefully, and you will last longer. You know, when you're in a pinch, it is all about survivability. So, yeah, just a few ways to use Swiftwing on the engage there. Now, for the fun of it, I would like to see how 3 Leopards with a Summon Leopard, buffed by Swiftwing, fare against the mighty Scarbrand. Can they take him down? Scarbrand has no abilities or items here. He's 2,600 gold still, with just plain, which I think is fair because these 4 cats, even with that summon there, only have about 2,400 value, so Scarbrand still outvalues them, even though these cats are designed to kill him with that anti-large. He's still a beast, though. He can like hit all of them with one swipe because he has like splash attacks, so see what happens. Get a nice flank there. Oh yeah, that's some good damage. Look at those leopards. Yeah, Swiftwing is a really fun spell, very aesthetically pleasing, and awesome to use in certain scenarios. So again, you can use Swiftwing to catch out enemy lords who have overextended and punish them. You can zone more traditionally by separating enemy units from their main force, forcing them into engagements. But of course, my favorite method of using it is the Alpha Strike, coup de grace, just a chef's kiss of an engagement, if you can get it. And of course, there are other ways to use Swiftwing that have yet to be discovered, so if you do, let us know. Have fun out there, and thanks for watching.